How's it going, guys? This is Ryo Murata, photographer based in Tokyo. Ever since Fuji discontinued their Fuji 400H Pro color negatives, I have been on a journey the long way to search for the perfect film, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the Lomography 800. Unfortunately, if you guys know, Lomography sells their films in batches of 3, so I was only able to shoot 3 during this time, and I can't say much about this film because I only shot during a specific period of time, and obviously you can't do a full-on review unless you shoot during early in the morning, in the afternoon, midday, and at night to give that overall verdict, overall conclusion. So this is just me shooting with this film to see how it would perform under that afternoon, sort of not golden hour, but more nice time during the afternoon. So this film is a really interesting film, honestly, because I guess people in the United States, people in North America say, I guess they ravage so much about how good this film is. And if I'm right, in the United States and North America, I think it's impossible to purchase it online. I guess the online retailers are all sold out, but weird story starts from here. In Japan, especially in Tokyo, I'm not sure what's happening in Tokyo right now, but I'm guessing that not many Japanese people typically know about this film stock. And when you go to typical what I call camera stores around Tokyo, I mean, they have these in stocks. They have it on shelf almost everywhere in big camera, Yodobashi camera. So I went ahead and purchased my box for roughly 2,980 yen. That's $28 for 3 rolls. And I mean, if you do a comparison with other types of film stocks, it is on the cheaper side. So I guess that's good. And this is something I noticed before loading this film into my camera, which is if you ever shot with a medium format camera, these films are always sealed using paper type of seal. It's glued onto the edge of the paper for it to prevent it from falling out. If you guys know, Kodak has a bad reputation for that. Well, the Fuji actually, they know what they're doing. It's sealed perfectly, and for the photographer's side, it's actually easier to peel off and just stick it back on after you finish shooting. But this one, the Lomography, actually feels really different because instead of using those paper seals, it uses a sort of a sticker type. I don't know which one's better, but from what I experienced, this actually works much better, and I become really confident that because it's a sticker, it has more potential that it will never fall off once you glue it together. So that was something interesting. Okay, so for this shoot in particular, I shot around a location called Sanrio Puroland. Yes, my friend, this is the hometown of Hello Kitty. If you're into those types of cuteness, I'm not into it, unfortunately, but it's located on a station called Keio TamaCenter, which is roughly 35 to 40 minutes away from Shinjuku. And what's interesting about these amusement parks is that because Tokyo is a super urban area, there's no location to build these attractions, so the majority of them are actually on the countryside of Tokyo. So this one in particular is roughly 40 minutes away from Shinjuku Station, and it's in a remote area, which I love to shoot around. Okay, so unfortunately I'm not going in there because I'm not into Hello Kitty, but I just wanted to check that area, the surrounding area, if there was anything interesting around that place. And because we're in a lockdown, you never know, because there might be lots of interesting places to see around that area. So yeah, let's get going. So we are going to Sanrio Puroland with my trusty dusty GW690 with Lomo 800 at Keio TamaCenter station. Here we go. had a couple of shots left over because you guys know I don't shoot that many exposure shots. So I went to this sort of like public park that's called like TamaCenter Park to see if there was like anything interesting to shoot with the remaining shots. And there's a fountain too. Okay, so after shooting with the Lomo 800, there were 3 things I realized after like getting my film negatives, color negatives back from the lab and getting it like scanned at home. One is that the film negatives, I don't know if other people experienced it, but the Lomo 800 in particular, the version that I got, the film negatives, had a super, what should I call it? There was like a curl to it. So if you guys shoot with a Pro 400H and have a lab do it for you, it's really like flat, you know, so you won't have any issues like scanning it within your house. But the Lomo 800 on the other hand, there was a sort of bent bow shaped kind of curve going on, so that was an issue at first. But in most cases, you guys know that if you like put some kind of weight on top of it, your color negatives will become super flat. So that wasn't a big issue, but that was like actually the first time I got my color negatives in a curve shape format, so that's a surprise to me. I don't know if other people experience this. Number 2 has to do with the film itself. You probably know this is an 800 film speed. It's a high speed film, meaning that it's more for like shooting at not super dark, but dark environments. And in my case, I shot during like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was still bright outside. And I realized after shooting with the ISO, this is actually my first time shooting with an ISO 800 film, I realized that depending on your camera, like if your shutter speed isn't fast enough, you might get a super overblown shot, because there were times when I was like shooting at 1/500th of a second at f11, f16, and even at that point it was still like one stop overexposed. So taking that into consideration, think about if your camera can like shoot really high speed, like shutter speeds, and if it's possible when shooting with these like high speed films, it might be great to have a camera that can shoot up to 1/1000th of a second, you know? So I was feeling really nervous because when I was like shooting, when I was reading my exposure and it was saying 1/500th of a second at f16, I was like, I don't want to shoot out f22 because everyone knows that there's that diffraction going on. The more you like shoot out smaller apertures, your quality of your image starts to degrade if it goes to f22, f32, you know? So depending on what camera you're using. So that's one thing that I realized. And okay, so last but not least, my scanning method actually changed in this video, because if you have noticed that I've previously up until now been like sort of like scanning with the exact same like scanner, but the scanning software that I use is called, I previously used the Epson's like default like scanner, you know, software, which was okay, you know. But in this video, I started using SilverFast SC 8. I forgot the version. It's 8.1 or 8.8 or something. But I found out that that software is actually, it came in free actually. You could download it from SilverFast like website, and if you just punch in the serial numbers, you'll get a free like copy of their software, scanning software. And it was actually a great experience because in my mind, this software actually performed rather better than the Epson scan. The Epson, if you seen my previous video, it gives out a sort of like a flat image, like a raw file, while SilverFast gives, it might be because of the film stock that I use, you know, Lomography 800 is a punchy, highly saturated film stock, so it actually performed really well when scanning this film. And I actually did not do that much of a color correction after scanning them, which was a big surprise for me. And I actually loved the results. The only issue was that the dust detection tool didn't work out perfectly, so I had to do that manually in like Photoshop, so that was a bummer. But still, SilverFast is actually a great like software to like, scan your like color negatives with. So yeah. Okay, so future uses. This is going to be an interesting one because I never used a Portra 800 or any kind of 800 speed film, but after shooting with this film, I realized that there is going to be a place in my arsenal that when I need a film, when I'm shooting at super low light situation, dark environments, maybe super early in the morning, this 800 Lomo 800 is a great like option for a lot of photographers out there. And because I live in Tokyo, might be because of my geographical location that no one likes to shoot with this film, and it's like you can buy this almost everywhere in Tokyo right now. I guess it's a great like option to have, and obviously it's not going to be a full Fuji 400H alternative, but it's great to have some kind of like film to shoot that's a little bit different from that film stock, but still at the same time, because this film gives great colors and it also has this punchy but not overly saturated but sort of like vibrant look to the images, I actually love shooting with this film. And hopefully in near future I might shoot even more to see if how this film like performs during early in the morning, maybe during golden hour, and at night if I have that option. So hope you guys like enjoy this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comments below. I am happy to like reply to them. And yeah, keep shooting, keep safe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.